Okay, this is problem number one of homework number one. And what I'm going to do is create this model, ignoring those elliptical or kind of these grooves. I'm going to ignore these things, make this thing, and then place this thing on it. Now, the only thing is that I prefer to do only half of this and then mirror it. So if you ignore these slots, if you ignore these slots, all you do is you create half of this and then reflect it and then go and clean it up. Okay? Clean it up means put these grooves on it. Okay, so my way of doing it is what I'm going to show you. You can do it any way you want. Okay? Let's go ahead and create a part file. And immediately I'm going to save it. File, save management. I have a folder here. You see, called homework one problem one, and I can give it any name that I want. So why not? Okay, homework one, problem one. This is so that you can find your own stuff later on down the road if you look in your folders. Problem one. Okay, from now on, all I have to do is to click on this floppy, and that's going to get revised in that location. So on this vertical plane, I will sketch that cross section that you see there. So something like that. I put fillets later on. So basically, I have something like this. Yeah. These ends may not be exactly the way I want them to be. For example, let's put some meaningful dimensions here. So this is going to be 6, and this is going to be also 6. Okay, so let's make some dimensions here. Makes our job easier. This is 6 inches, and this is also 6 inches. 6 inches. Okay, don't let this thing scare you. Cancel. Don't let this scare you because you haven't dimensioned it. Actually, this should have been 6. So I changed it to 6. There we are. Now let's see what we got there. So there are two, it looks like there are two, there's a circle of radius zero point 0.4 here, okay? Looks like something like that. And probably the top is the same. It doesn't show it, but I'm pretty sure this radius is also zero point 0.4. Yeah, let's go clean it up. So, oh, wait a minute, hang in there. Before I do that, these thicknesses 0.4, and I'm sure this is 0.4 also. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's clean this up. That is 0.4. Okay, so is this one 0.4. Okay, there's some stuff here that I don't particularly like, but it looks like there's a circle here. There's a circle there, so let's clean it up. I don't want this. So let's do, for example, a arc. Zoom in here. I'll just leave it like this. We're going to clean it up. So the center of let's actually give this thing a dimension. Radius is 0.4. Okay, very good. It's a normal view. Now this is 0.4 and this is 0.4, but okay, so I want this thing to be tangent to that. So this control that. Let's do a tangent. It says over constraint, cancel that, no problem. So this I already know is 0.4, so I can delete it and now make these things tangent. This control that, And now I'm pretty sure we can make it tangent. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I want this thing to be actually on that line, okay? This thing, this point, control that to be coincident. Okay, very good. Now it's all right. So this radius is 0.4 if you check it out. Use the caliper. This radius is 0.4. Yep, you can see that. And we have to do some cleanup there. So let's do a quick trim. Okay, come on. Well, I have to do the same thing on the other side. Now, remember, you do it the way you want. This is how I did it, which is not necessarily the best way. So this one, I'm going to be more careful with it. So let's do how about doing a full circle? Okay, clean up crew. So it's going to be this, so a quick trim, get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of this. Okay, and now make this tangent to that. Actually, make this radius 0.4 and make it tangent automatically, I believe. So let's make this radius 0.4. There we are. And bring out the clear. Let's see what it says. This is impossible to trim a length element. No problem. Cancel. No. Let's get rid of this dimension. We know it's 0.4, but let's get rid of it. Okay, let's get rid of this. Delete. And now we do a trim. Oh, well, it did it, so that's fine. Yeah, gone. So basically we have this exit, and we pad it by half the distance, and the distance, that distance, the entire thing was 4.2, so we go 2.1. So we go by distance of 2.1, 2.1. Okay, good, good. So now on that face, I will sketch, because I want to sketch this thing, which is, let's see now, this distance is 1.3 and the angle is 45 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line 45 degrees. Where's my line? There's the line, like that. But I want to make sure that these are on the same at the same point. So this control that coincident. Oops, there's this control. This control that line. You can make it coincident. Okay, and this point control that line. Make it coincident. And we make that angle 45 degrees. Dimension between this line and that line, and that's going to make it angle 45. Very good. And here's what I'm going to do for this other line. So let me draw something like that. Make them parallel. So this line control that line. We want to make it parallel. Okay. And the distance between them is 1.3, I believe. This 1.3. Let me say, okay. Oops. Hang in there. Let's check this. 1.3. Yeah. Maybe it's okay. The only thing is that I want this point to be on that line. Control that. Let's see if we can make it coincident. You know what? I don't understand because I used the correct dimensions, 6 and 6, no problem. This may not be 1.3, it may be something else because 1.3 will actually take it there. So let me actually take it for granted that let's actually do this. First of all, delete that. Make it one. let me put first of all this on that line, control, coincident. Okay, yeah, okay, that makes this point on that line. So this point control that line, make it coincident. Okay, good. And we want these things to be parallel. This line control that line to be parallel. Very good. And now if let's see what I want this dimension based on the drawing to be 1.3, but 1.3 seems to be too big for that. It cannot be 1.3 because unless I did the other dimension. Oh, maybe. So what are we missing here? Yeah, that distance. This distance should be 1.84. So let's try to clean this up. So the distance from here to here should be 1.84. So the distance from I think I ignored one of those dimensions. Distance from this point to that point, it looks like horizontal, not this one, I want the other one. Which was that? Here, let's put this thing in the wireframe mode so that we can see it better. So the distance from this point to, there must be a point there at that location. Yeah, this should be 1.84. Yeah, that may be, yeah, I think that's reasonable now. That's similar to what we have. Okay, and then we pad this. Does that look like this? I still think that this is too big. So anyway, this is 0.2, padded 0.2. Oh yeah, because it's not closed. Cancel that. So let's go back to that sketch. You have to close that sketch. So a line going from here to here, and another line going from here to here. Exit. Now pad it in the other direction by 0.2. There we are. And then we mirror it. So mirror everything with respect to that plane. And there we are. Let me change the rendering here. This is the part that you got. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake. And then I draw this slot here. So let's try that. Let me go there. Go to Catia. On that face, I will sketch. Now I think we have that feature actually there somewhere. So let's see if we can find it. I think it's this, right? It's elongated hole. That's what it is. Okay. So it goes like that. And I can dimension it properly now. The dimensions are given based on the drawing. The distance from this point to that line, it looks like it is 0.7. Wait a minute. Yeah, 0.7. Okay. The distance from, let's see now, this point to that line, it looks like it's 1.5. Oh no, actually 2. I think that's the one. I don't know. And distance from here to here, that should be oh yeah, 1.5. So let's see now. The distance from this point to that line is 1.5. Okay, and we must be missing something else. 1.5. Do we have some? This is something else still missing. do I know the orientation of that? I don't know what that orientation is. But one thing I do know is that radius is that radius. Cancel that. Escape. Let's try this radius. This radius. Okay, so it's not doing it that way. Okay. So this is fine. The only thing is that this radius, I don't know what it is, and I'm given the actual value to be zero point 0.2, not 0.227. But one way to there's a constraint here. Oh, there, this dimension. This dimension should not have been here. This I want it to be 0.2. 0.2. That's the radius basically. Yeah, that's a lot better. It will not let me dimension this thing. It will say that's over constrained because already the radius was defined here. Exit. I think there's something still missing. There's something still missing because I should know the orientation of that elongated hole, but I don't have it. Okay, so let's make a pocket here. Pocket. Pocket. All the way, all the way. Okay, now if I mirror this, it's going to be looking at the wrong orientation, but I can always make a circle, always make a linear pattern. Pattern? Okay, so what is it that we want to pattern? We want to pattern this elongated hole and two of them. Why don't we make it, let's see now, the spacing, let's keep it the way it is right now. And for reference direction, we'll make this. Okay, but keep going more. I'll let you work this out, please, uh, because you can actually figure out by how much this is displaced, but I'll just leave it the way it is, okay? So that's what we have, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I might have made a mistake here and there, but yeah, I'll let you sort it out. You can do it any other way. It's not the only way of doing it. So let me stop this. And by the way, there are dimensions missing, I understand that, but if you know the process of making this thing, then